Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 6. And later, the recording will be week 7. I decided to do 2 recordings just because having one recording of 3 hours or 2.5 hours is a lot. So we will take a little break after week 6 material and the meditation and for 5 minutes, and then we shoot into the next one, which is as equally exciting. I have prepared this for a while now, and yeah, really great material. I have some new tools for you as usual. I have some new ideas for you, new exercises, new websites, and new other findings. So let me pull up, as every week, a little presentation for you. You can see the screen, the blue screen. Yeah. Nothing else, right?
No.
Perfect. Okay, there's a reason for that. Bear with me, bear with me. It looks fresh, isn't it? Because it's still very warm outside, even though it has calmed down quite a lot. We went from 35 degrees or even 40, 42 degrees last week in Ibiza and Spain and so on, to now we're at 24. So it's quite pleasant outside here in Switzerland. I'm sure where you are, it's the same. Besides, Andrew, you're in the winter, right? Right now.
Back into winter.
Exactly. In beautiful Australia. All the way from Australia, Andrew. I think that is pretty incredible. And I'm so grateful for your loyalty to us all in this amazing class. As the only male, well, there's a second one, but he often comes for the recordings. And there's a few other males who do one-on-ones, but you're the one who's always there for the live, which I think is amazing. So today, today we will be talking all about breathing. Without that, we don't exist, right? Breathing is the first thing we do when we come out of the womb of our mothers. And that as well, I can say with a free mind, we all come from a mother. Because sometimes nowadays it's hard to be political correct and culturally aware and all of these things, and the way we need to talk and the things we need to respect and the things we need to be careful about. But one thing is clear for everyone, is that we are all coming from a mama. So there you go. That is, so the first thing we do is breathing. And I think it's the most beautiful thing, because there's so many things we can learn about breathing that we will address today. So is this working now? Or is it just a picture? No. There. Week 6, breathing, as I just said. So we're going to move over to what is breathing. Let me take this here. Note, as I said already in the last 5 weeks before, I am not a licensed practitioner. This course is part of my classwork towards my PhD. You are here of your free mind. No one forces you to be here. And you understand by participating that, that we are all not licensed practitioners or doctors or coaches, but that we are here to learn and explore new concepts of mindfulness and integrative medicine, as I have been studying that at Quantum University in the US. And this is part of a coursework for my practical work, which is 1,000 hours accumulated, which will happen through this course. So thank you again for that. Yeah, so what is breathing? The importance of breathing. So I found an amazing website. It's called healing/feeling.com. And they have a blog all on breathing. So the material I will be providing to you right now will be all about that. The importance of breathing. Our bodies are amazing things, right? We can stay alive for long periods of time without food, water, and even sleep, but not without oxygen. But how much importance and thought do we give to this vital function? Do we realize just how important breathing is to our physical and mental health, and the reason why? Why is breathing important? Breathing brings us energy. We need to breathe to send oxygen into the cells in our body, which constantly need a new supply so they can produce energy. When breathing, we also allow our bodies to get rid of the waste products and toxins it creates, which can easily stagnate in our bodies and damage vital functions if not expelled. Breathing is a curious process, unlike any other in the human body. We do this unconsciously for a large proportion of the time, much like the blood flowing around our body, but at any given moment, we can choose to change its rhythm. But surely we can't get such a natural behavior wrong, don't you think? There is different types of breathing. Did you know there are multiple types of breathing? A lot of you won't know that most of us only use around a third of our actual breathing capacity. There are three main compartments to the lungs, and for the most part, we take shallow breaths that only involve the upper lobes, the top part of your lungs, right? Chest breathing, kind of. It seems that with our stressful lives, like everything, we forget to take time to breathe as deeply as we should. Unfortunately, it is not only adults who experience this stressful breathing, but children too. There's more pressure on children in many ways now compared to 10 or 20 years ago. In school, at home, and with their friends, as we already explored in the other weeks, especially as Simone was sharing with us as a teacher in Luxembourg. This can lead to children not breathing properly, which can have knock-on effects to their concentration, behavior, and mental health. There are several types of breathing, but the majority of people breathe into their chest rather than their stomach, especially nowadays as well, if I may say. We often breathe with the chest and not the stomach just because also it looks better for us women, right? If we breathe through the stomach, sometimes it makes it a bit bigger. And when we walk, we don't want to have a bigger stomach. And that is often an excuse I hear from women when I say, well, why don't you breathe more into your stomach? And then you breathe out, right? And they say, well, it doesn't look that good, right? And I know with some of your faces smiling that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Throughout our lives, we will have all experienced changes in our breathing patterns when processing different feelings. For example, those of fear, anger, sorrow, or physical exercise. Some of us sometimes unintentionally set up physical responses in our breathing when reacting to emotional triggers. For example, when we see a spider. What I think is really important here as well, what I learned when I was pregnant for the women that and the men, the future fathers or the fathers, that when the baby is in the stomach, the baby learns to breathe as well because of how he or she perceives the breathing of the mother. That's why it's very important as well when you're pregnant, or when you know someone that is pregnant, that you do this exercise of breathing and that you calm down. Because the baby is learning from you how to breathe, so what the rhythm should be, right? And some babies breathe calm and some babies don't breathe as calm because of already what has been predispositioned when they were in the stomach, which I think is very, very interesting. And there's research on that online, so just Google it for more information. But for the mothers to be, and for anyone who knows someone who is pregnant, I think it's so important. So signs of poor breathing then are holding your breath, feeling short of breath, feeling the need to take a long breath, running out of breath, taking lots of short breaths. All of these are signs that our breathing is not quite right. And if our breathing is short and quick, this can have a huge impact on your mental health. Oxygen feeds your mind after all. And if you are not giving your brain enough oxygen, then it cannot cope sufficiently with your emotions. We all have times where we felt upset or breathing quickens. We take shallow breaths, feel panicked and lightheaded. People's advice is always to take some deep breaths, and they are right. Breathing deeply, inhaling slowly, filling your mind and body with oxygen calms us down, both physically, but also mentally. So how can I breathe more effectively, you're probably wondering, and what happens when I do? One of the best ways to learn how to breathe effectively and to ensure you are helping your body and mind to work together is through the use of breathing exercises, which we will be doing some today. We are looking into Wim Hof method in a minute, but there's so many others. And of course, through the apps, there's a new thing I wanted to introduce to you as well, which is called Braintap. So let me just see if I can. Oops. Take away the blur. So you see my office in the back. You know I love books, so there you go. But here we have Braintap, which is a device. It is, to be honest with you, it is quite expensive. So I paid for the delivery as well, included $800, something like that, which I think is really expensive. And also what I don't like is that you can only do 5 sessions a day. So if you would like to have your children as well doing it and your husband as I want to, it's going to get pretty difficult because you will need to do 2 sessions a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening to get the best benefits. They say 3 is great. More than 3 will not make it any better. So you have 2 or maximum 3 to give to someone else, which I think is not much for the price you pay. Also, there's a subscription that goes with it, which is a bundle of like 6 bundles, stress-free, worry-free, nutrition, sleep, also a section just for children, which I think is amazing, Simone. So maybe the school can even invest in that, right? And have these breathing Braintap sessions when they go to the sports or something like that. They can maybe do that with sports. And if the school maybe gets these, let's say like 5 or 6 devices for the school, for the sports, I think that could be not that bad. So what's happening is that, so you turn it on and it does these, so you have light therapy at the same time, and you have it also in your eyes, which you can't see now because I'm not doing it now. But when you do it, it turns it on, and then it looks a bit like Star Wars, as I told you already, like this. Very fancy, doesn't it? So that's really great. It fits quite nicely on your face, and you can really use it well. I use it in the car. Of course, I was not driving, but it was quite pleasant. The only thing is that you cannot really adjust it very much to your own face, I saw. So, you cannot even, the straps cannot be adjusted very much. But it kind of is like a unique size, which should be fitting everyone. For me, it was sliding on my nose a little bit, just because I have a quite small face and it's quite skinny as well, but great stuff. So yeah, check it out if you want. I think it's really not that bad at all. What I like about it is that they have these, the double brain meditation sections, where there is someone doing the guided meditation, and at the same time, you have in the background another voice doing a meditation or telling you things, which your subconscious then unconsciously absorbs. It absorbs it all, which I think is amazing. And the things they say, the guy who is doing it, his voice is, well, it's okay. It's not that great, I think, but what he says is great. So the context is really insightful, and you're really thinking, that is so true, right? So I could connect very well with the words he was saying. It's sad that it's only him, the man. So I think it's the inventor, the doctor who has invented this device, who is doing them. But that is just a minor detail. The bundle itself costs $29 a month if you do all 7 of them, if you take them all. If not, it is $9, I think, per bundle. But then I thought, if I take it for the children and my husband for his things, there's also some on optimization, success, and all of these things, then I might as well doing that and try. And if not, I can always cut it down. But yeah, so this is my newest tool, and I think it's pretty cool. So far, I really enjoy the process. I have done a week now with it, and it's really actually nice. You always drift off somehow, and they say as well that it's quite normal that you drift off, which I think is funny, but you come back, and they make you come back, and you actually feel quite refreshed, which I really, really like. I haven't done the sleeping meditations yet, where they don't make you come back, so you actually can drift off and sleep. So we'll do that as well, maybe next weekend when I don't need to wake up in the morning. But and I will let you know how that went, of course. But yeah, that is my new tool here. I think it's a really good addition to the Muse headband, which I think some of you already got, which I think is really great. And maybe later we can share some experiences, because some of you already got some tools. Simone was talking about different classes she's taking now on top of this one. And maybe everyone can share as well a little bit what they have found from the last 6-7 weeks and how they have adjusted to that. So that's enough on Braintap. And again, disclaimer, no, I'm not paid for this. This is not an advertisement. This is just an experience. I have bought it with my own money. They didn't send it to me. So this is all just honest feedback. So how can I breathe more effectively, and what happens when I do? One of the best ways to learn how to breathe effectively and to ensure you are helping your body and mind to work together is through the use of breathing exercises, as I said, which we will do now. If you have a child who is feeling stressed or overwhelmed, you can also teach them how to control their breathing. It is a great tool they can use whenever they need some time out to calm or relax, which I think is so important, kind of like brain breaks. You know, if you have small children, try to do 3 minutes, maybe twice a day, just a brain break. I think it's really important. Take away their electronic devices and just let them experience to be with you the way they are. Here's a simple one that you can try at home, they say. Take a seat on a chair, adopting the 90 degrees rule, chin at 90 degrees to floor, hips at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees, and ankles at 90 degrees. So you're kind of like really sitting quite straight up, like yeah, very linear actually. And your feet are planted on the floor solidly and strongly, because that's your root, isn't it? Breathe in through your nose and count off 4 seconds. So we will do the exercise later with the Wim Hof thing. But yeah, you know where I'm going, huh? Breathing brings our body and mind together, and for both to function well, they need oxygen. By learning how to breathe well, you will become healthier and stronger. That is a given, right? More endorphins are released, which improve feelings of natural well-being. Your muscles relax, heart rate and blood pressure decreases. You can help control your emotions and fears. Natural cleansing will take place, allowing energy to be directed more productively. Feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression can reduce. You will have a clearer and sharper mind. You will feel more present and more alive. Isn't that amazing? So working in harmony, right? Because the breathing, it's all about creating that balance in your body. As well as the physical benefits, we mustn't overlook the power that deep breathing can have on your mental health. Deep breathing exercises are the basic of mindfulness and meditation, as you have learned already in the last 6 weeks. Both based on, well, kind of like the premises of bringing body and mind together, focusing all attention on the process of breathing in order to quiet the mind and stem the busy stream of thoughts causing us distress. When working in harmony, they can be a powerful weapon, and breathing exercises are still to this day used as a pain management technique across the world. Some people even give birth just by having practiced breathing exercises, which I think is incredible, right? If you are someone that knows someone who is very much into natural and integrative medicines, who don't want to have any chemicals while giving birth, or if you are just someone who has a lot of knee pain, headaches, back pains, this can really make a difference, because you're really reconnecting with your brain, and you can really do some good with that. As I told you already in the weeks before, there's books out there where people through mindfulness and breathing exercises have cured cancer. So it's a really powerful tool. So next time you feel yourself needing to draw a deep breath, why not take 5 minutes to align your body and mind? Give it the oxygen it so desperately needs to work well and try our easy exercise, which are coming soon. After all, without breath, we are nothing. There's a quote that they added, which I like. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. So that is from a book from Thich Nhat Hanh, Stepping into Freedom, Rules of a Monastic Practice for Novices. So it's kind of more of a religious book, but it's also, you know, that's what the Buddhists do and so on. But I think breathing is really not so talked much still in today's society, especially when it comes to children. And I think it can really make a difference. So why we breathe, regulated by the autonomic nervous system. As we talked last week, we talked about the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Inhaling oxygen is an unconscious process. Fortunately, it's an unconscious praxis. Otherwise, we simply wouldn't have a break, as we'd have to deal with it incessantly while you're on it all the time, right? If you would be thinking, oh, I need to remember to breathe, it would take quite a lot of time of your day. The amount of oxygen that we inhale through our breathing influences the amount of energy that is released into our body cells. On a molecular level, this processes via various chemicals and physiological processes. Breathing is the easiest and most instrumental part of the autonomic nervous system to control and navigate. In fact, the way you breathe strongly affects the chemical and physiological activities in your body. Throughout the years, Wim Hof has developed special breathing exertions that keep his body in optimal condition and in complete control in the most extreme conditions. The breathing techniques is first and foremost premised on inhaling deeply and exhaling without any use of force. Before we start with the Wim Hof case as well, I have some other things that I want to show you. But with Wim Hof, to give you a little bit of context, his wife died. I think it was on cancer a long time ago. And that really made him change his life, right? Getting into the research of the body, how can you heal yourself? And he even, which is crazy, has injected himself with very, very dangerous viruses, of course, medically controlled, but voluntarily injected to him. And through his breathing, he did not get sick. So he controlled the viral infection that was injected in his body, that it would not have an outbreak and the body could digest it and just kind of like get rid of it naturally through his breathing. How incredible is that? And he says as well, if you breathe, and we will go into the benefits of the Wim Hof method breathing, he says that with his breathing, if you do his course and his breathing more, and he actually has also in-person courses which you can travel to see him, and there's groups of people who do that all over the world, where he teaches you to breathe in ice water. So he's called the Iceman, the Wim Hof method, and he works a lot with ice. And he has healed, well, through his methods, a lot of people got healed from all kinds of illnesses and diseases, also mental health. And he's just a force of nature. He was on Ellen DeGeneres. He was on all kinds of shows around the world. He works with the best practitioners and mindfulness coaches, you just Google him, Wim Hof method, you come onto his website, but also there's on Google, there's gazillions YouTube videos on how to do it, what to do, and so on. We will also do one today, but that is, if you want to do further research, it's totally worth it, and it's amazing. I have done it with Gabel and Noah, and I have downloaded this app. There's an app, and there's a lot of things that are free on the app, so you can just download it and see if it works for you. And I must say it was really interesting. It's difficult. I thought it was not that easy. And they put that it is really easy, that everyone can do it. And it's true, you can. But I felt it was really difficult because I'm still a bit of a shallow breather. So I'm always a bit on the edge energy-wise, because I do a lot of things, but also, once you have experienced a burnout, your body is always a little bit weakened and the symptoms can come back quite fast. So I always need to be careful on what I do, that I get my sleep in and everything. And so for me, to work with the breathing like that and actually getting use of it gives me anxiety. I'm not gonna lie, because you kind of like control the breathing, that you need to hold it in. You will experience that now with me in a minute. And then out, and then you need to hold the out breath after you have no more air inside you. And just all of these things, you know, if you're not in use of it, can give you some anxiety, but you will see what your body will tell you and what your symptoms are, and we can chat them later. But so it's like what I said to you in the first weeks, you know, the experience in mindfulness is really like a thumb and an earlobe. It's really unique to you, but it gives you really an amazing moment of calm after, because your body really, really, really calms down. So before starting Wim Hof, Cassie, that's a journalist from healthline.com, which is also an amazing website on all kinds of things, nutrition, meditation, mindfulness, whatever you want. Healthline.com is actually quite nice. Also notes that the Wim Hof method can be difficult for people who are reverse breathers. And I thought I put this in because that is so important. And I was a reverse breather before, that's why I know. And you don't know if you are one, if you have never even thought about it, right? I'm sure a lot of you people are probably like, what does that even mean, right? So one way to check if you are a reverse breather is if your belly flattens when you inhale and sticks out when you exhale. So check, breathe in, put your hands on your stomach and see what happens. Firstly, if you are a chest breather, try to locate the breath into your stomach. That's the first step. And then once you have your breath in your stomach, try to see which breather you are, right? So let's try. We breathe in. And we breathe out. We breathe in. And we breathe out. What is interesting, when I do it still today, I realize that it kind of like gives me a blockage in my chest when I try to allocate the breathing into the stomach, especially the inhale. When I breathe in into the stomach, it's hard for me to get my stomach to rise. I need to consciously really do it, like really think, okay, my stomach needs to rise now. So I'm still not 100% there with the reverse breathing to get it all into the stomach. And I was much better in the past. I play saxophone since I'm 7. So that will make it 30 years now. But I haven't practiced much lately. But when you do that, it actually helps to play an instrument if you ever want to start an instrument. There's also an amazing app, by the way, now that I have you here, which I have invested in, which is called, let me ask my husband quickly. Let me ask you quickly, because I think it's an amazing app. What is the music app? Okay, I asked him once he gets back to me. But what I learned as well with the breathing, how you can learn to breathe into your stomach. What my teacher did with me when I was young is that I needed to lay down and put books on my stomach. Literally, books. So first you put them. So you put them on your stomach and then you see if the books rise or not. You can also do it the reverse part, that you put them on your chest and the books cannot go up. So whatever feels more comfortable for you. It's definitely a really great exercise just to locate your breathing and just train your body on where to breathe in and where to breathe out. So the app is called Fratello, F-R-E-T-E-L-L-O, Fratello. And you can, and they claim, which I think is amazing, and we had a call with the founder and CEO, you can play any instrument with the app. And they're very strong with guitar, of course. They're one of the leading guitar apps in the world. And what it is that it gives you that direct feedback when you play an instrument, and it teaches you how to do it. But not like any other app where they just show you how to do it and everything. It really interacts with you, and the level increases and decreases. It with AI, it actually really connects with you. So it is a pretty incredible app, and they work with kind of a lot of music instrument providers. You will see everything on the website. But that is a cool app. So if you want to get into the breathing for instruments that require that. The guitar is also good for the mindfulness. It's not for the breathing, but it's good for the mindfulness, because when you play instruments, as we talked about last week, the fact that you're using your fingers, right? The Daumen yoga, so the finger, the thumb yoga, you automatically increase your memory and avoid illnesses, future possible illnesses, such as depression, Alzheimer, and everything. Because by moving your fingers and working with your fingers more, you can really train your brain. So playing an instrument is anyways really good. And I cannot emphasize on that enough. So play an instrument, start something new. If you have one, do it again, get back in the game. And if you don't have one, why not learning something new? It's very good to use your fingers and for the instruments that require that. And it's very good for your breathing, for the instruments like saxophone or flute or something like that, which require also your breath, finger and breath. It's very good for your coordination, and it keeps the brain fit, the memory there, and just it keeps you all over well-being much, much more optimized, especially as we grow older. And it's very good for children because it helps as well with coordinating their brains. It helps because of that for the math and everything in school. So yeah, all of these benefits, isn't that amazing? So to correct reverse breathing, so as I said, you put your hand on your belly and you breathe. I don't know, does anyone want to share who is a reverse breathing? And is it difficult for you when you breathe and consciously try to get it into your stomach? Is it difficult? You have that feeling as well that there's like a blockage between your chest and your stomach, like there's a wall. Who shares this feeling with me? Someone wants to share? If you want.
So I used to be a reverse breather, but I think at some point, probably when I started doing yoga and meditation, it just kind of changed. And I think the other thing is, yeah, you have to be really conscious, but I notice when you run or when you do any kind of an intense physical exercise, it just automatically trains your body how you should be breathing. So I think that also helped. So if anyone has breathing issues, definitely try to work out more often, maybe.
Yeah, but exactly. Breathing and workout is so important. That's why they say as well, if you feel low energy, they actually say go and do some sports. It kind of sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But it really helps. It really helps giving you more energy and get this adrenaline up and all of these other things, all of these other benefits. Thank you, Rudy, for sharing. Anyone else? No? Perfect. Well, we move on then to tips for beginners. Just share this here again. Voila. So let me just see here. Yeah, we go to the Wim Hof already. So I think I have the benefits here. Yeah, exactly. So the Wim Hof then. So the benefits that he says, well, let's go to the tips for beginners first, and then we go to Wim Hof and the benefits before we do our breathing exercise. And I tell you, It's intense, but it is beautiful. So don't be scared. We're in this together and we're going to do this together. So tips for beginners. Let's do this first. Oops. Here are some general pointers for people who are new to the Wim Hof method. So from their website, that is how they talk about it. If you are unable to breathe through your nose due to congestion or other reasons, mouth breathing is okay, which I think is also important because a lot of people say, oh, I can't breathe through my nose, or it's difficult. You can also do the breathing, they call it the brain breathing kind of like thing, which is when you breathe one nose in and out. Then you go to the other side. So it's just one-sided breathing, which is actually really, really good for your brain as well. You can try that too. If not, the mouth is fine. Use the cue belly, chest, head when inhaling to remind you to use all of your lungs. So even if you're just a chest breather, try to get some of it also in the chest. Consciously relax your jaw and the muscles in your neck and upper shoulders. We have talked about it already before, so try to get these shoulders down. And I don't know if you have done the exercises to really consciously kind of like remind yourself to check in your body postures during the week. I hope you did. If not, there's still time to do that. So do that. It's really, really good. Let go of any competitive mindset. It doesn't matter how long you hold the 30 breaths, which we will get into now. While holding your breath, use a nose clip or pinch your nose to avoid taking in micro-zips of air if necessary, which is really good. So you can do this, or you can, when you inhale and out, when you exhale actually through the mouth, that you don't use the nose. Use the breath retention phase to witness your own thoughts and your body's response. So rather than just thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to make it, this is really stressful and I can't breathe, just think about what is your mind telling you and how is your body reacting to this? And they talk about, and I have experienced that before when I recorded your session, which sadly didn't record the video I did for what is coming now. My fingers were tingling and my feet, and I felt a little bit anxious, but also calmer. So there's quite a lot of sensations you can experience when we're doing the exercise we're doing now. So let's go to the benefits. There is the benefits, which the Wim Hof website says the techniques, it offers benefits, including increased energy, better sleep, reduces stress level, heightened focus and determination, increases willpower, stronger immune system. But not all of these benefits are supported by scientific evidence. Those that are included are voluntary influence of the nervous system and immune system, which is when he did, and you should watch the news when he injected himself with that virus and how he did it, and he did not get sick. It is crazy. Imagining that you put yourself with a really, really dangerous virus, and that some people died of that, and you put it in and you're so confident with your own body and your own breathing that you can fight this by yourself. Isn't that, I think it's insane. Anti-inflammatory effects, and also disclaimer, don't try that now. Yeah, don't do that. Just check it out and see how Wim Hof, the Iceman, has done it, just for information. And of course, if you want to actually experience him more in depth and go really into it, you can always contact him, sign up for his classes, or go and see him when he does these workshops, which I would definitely recommend. It looks amazing. And it's on my bucket list. Once Theodor is not breastfeeding anymore and Mama can travel without him, I will definitely do that and try it out. So it's anti-inflammatory effects, decreases flu-like symptoms. So it's very good for the flu, increases level of nervous system neurotransmitters, reduction in altitude sickness, improved oxygen delivery during exercise. Scientists are still learning about how Wim Hof's breathing technique affects the brain and metabolic activity, physical endurance, mental health, the immune system, inflammation, and pain. So it's a continuous process. So inflammation and immune response, the Wim Hof method could have implications for treating inflammatory conditions, especially autoimmune conditions. And there's a body of research to support this. A more recent study from 2019 study, which is, it's a trusted source by journals. Wait, let me just, journals.plos.org. You will find the research article. It's peer-reviewed as well, and it is by, it's called an add-on training program involving breathing exercises. Cold exposure and meditation attenuates inflammation and disease activity in axial, okay, that is a really horrible, really difficult word, spondyloarthritis, a proof of concept trial, which I think is amazing. So the results, conclusion, you see all what they did there, but that's on journals.plos.org. You find everything there that you need to know. Examined the effect of an 8-week Wim Hof method course on adults with, as I said before, axial spondyloarthritis, a type of inflammatory disease of the joints. Those in the Wim Hof method group showed reduction in certain inflammatory markers compared with the control group. Participants in the landmark 2014 study performed Wim Hof method breathing, meditated, and were immersed in ice-cold waters. Results showed that the sympathetic nervous system and immune system can be voluntarily influenced. This could be due to the anti-inflammatory effect produced by the techniques. People who learned the Wim Hof method also had fewer flu-like symptoms. So I pull up the study for a moment and I can tell you again where you find that. So you can look at it again. So it's pnas.org. And there you find all kinds of studies in the news. And if you put in the breathing techniques, it will pop up. But very, very cool. There's really some cool studies there that you can explore. There you go. So, as I said with the science, so there's so many good parts of doing the breathing exercise, which we will get very well. I think we are now coming to it. So, the Wim Hof method. So, the Wim Hof method you find Wim Hof, WIMHOF method, all together with a D at the end, .com. Again, I'm not paid for this. I found these resources myself and I use it, and that's why I suggest it. This is just an advice. I am not a doctor and I'm not a licensed practitioner, or not yet. And as such, if you want more of this, do your research, get in touch. We can find it and explore it together, or get an expert who has already his or her license, or get in touch with Wim Hof. He's pretty available, actually. He answers to people and he has a team there and everything. It's pretty cool. So he says, Wim Hof method breathing is simple and easy. That's what they say on the website. Everyone can do it. Yes, everyone can do it because we are already breathing, right? Just follow the steps that I'm going to get you through now. We recommend, and that is important, practicing right after waking or before a meal. That's why the timing now is great. I was thinking at some point if I would move the breathing session to after our break and do week 7 first, self-compassion. But then I thought no, because this way I'm sure that you haven't eaten yet, when your stomach is still empty. Note that the Wim Hof breathing, the method breathing, can affect motor control and in rare cases leads to loss of consciousness. That is just because when you work on your breathing, some people are more sensitive, and that can happen. You can feel lightheaded or dizzy. Always sit or lie down before practicing the technique. Never practice while piloting a vehicle or in near bodies of water. So not that you drown or something like that, right? So always try, also with the meditation parts, any meditation, just try always to have a calm place, which is safe, where you can't fall or cannot hurt yourself. Lay down if you want, if you feel more comfortable with it. And that is really what we will do now. So if you feel comfortable, I think it is really great to just, sit up if you want, 90 degrees angles. straight back if you can, feet plant on the floor. The hands, you can put them on your stomach, so you know if you're reverse breathing if you like, but you don't need to. You can put your hands as well on the side. You can put your hands on your lap. Whatever feels more comfortable for you, that works. Note, we will do 2 rounds. They say 3 to 4 rounds would be better, but I think 2 rounds will be plenty. 1 round is around 7 minutes, so something like that. But yeah, you will see what I mean. There will be no interruption, so we will go from 1 round to the other. So I will start with the breathing. That will be just to tell you what's happening, and then we start. So 30 to 40 deep breaths. We will do 30 because we are all new into this, so I assume, just to make it comfortable for everyone. We do it with closed eyes, and we will inhale through the belly and chest, and then go unforced, and we let it go unforced, but completely exhale and fast. So it's really like, you know, like you're hyperventilating breathing, okay? It seems a bit uncomfortable at first, and it is actually. I think it is not that easy, as I said before, but you will tell me later what you think of it, okay? So we will do 30 to 40, so we decide to do 30 today of these breaths. In and out, short. You may experience, they say on the website, lightheadedness and tingling sensations in your fingers and feet. These side effects are completely harmless, they say, okay? Of course, if you feel really unwell, stop, okay? You don't need to do it just to do it, okay? You can turn off your camera, you can leave it on, whatever feels best. I will leave my camera on, but you know, whatever you want. Stop if you need to, okay? Because I cannot help you if anything happens, yeah? If you faint or if you feel dizzy or something like that. Then, after the last exhalation, inhale, we will inhale 1 more final time, as deeply as you can. So, and then breathe out, let the air out and stop breathing. And we wait. Then we wait around 20-30 seconds if we can, until you feel the urge to breathe. If you need to breathe earlier, like after 10 seconds or so on, you breathe. You don't wait for me to breathe. You breathe, okay? If you can go longer, why not try to go longer, okay? Then comes recovery breath, which is step 4. When you feel the urge to breathe again, then you draw 1 big breath, fill your belly and chest, feel it, expanding, then you're at full capacity, right? Hold that for 15 seconds. I will count that for you. And we have completed the first round. That we will do again. And then we bask a little bit into our relaxation, talking about our sensation, what you have experienced. And then we take a little break before we go over to week 7. So yeah, if that is clear, should we start? Should we try? Are you ready? Perfect. We are ready. So without further ado, so step 1 is obviously sit in a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, whichever works best for you, as I said already before, and comfortable, needs to be comfortable. Make sure your lungs are free and freely without feeling any constriction, so that you have really space in front of you and around you. You really sit back and you really relax. You know, you can spread your legs a little bit to feel more grounded on the floor. You know, no one is going to watch how you're sitting now. No one is going to see it. So just sit the way you feel the more comfortable. Put your shoulders down, which I think is important, because the energy from the breathing that comes up from your chakra in your belly, up from the solar plexus, also needs to come up to your head, right? So if you block here and if your muscles are tense like this, then it's not going to work. So put it down consciously. Take a second to adjust your seating. I will wait, and then we get started. So sit up or lay down, be comfortable, put your legs firmly on the ground, put a little gap between your legs to be really grounded, put your hands where you feel them best, close your eyes and just relax. Imagine, well, just really notice everything around you. Notice the sounds around you, notice the cold breeze, maybe the warmth, the smells, anything that is in your environment right now. Just notice it for a second while you close your eyes and start getting grounded into our exercise today. Relax your jaw and play with it a bit, open it, just relax it. Relax your eyes, do a little body scan, like 20 seconds, just from the head down to your toes. Feel your head, your eyes. Are they stressed? Are they strict on? Just relax them, the muscles around your eyes. Go down to your jaw, your neck, your throat. Relax your shoulders down, your arms, your fingers. Go down your chest, your stomach, your hips, your legs. Maybe feel like you want to stretch one more time or yawn like me now. When I do the body scan, I always yawn, which is funny. Go down your knees, legs, feet. Voila. So when you're ready, we're going to start the breathing. So step 2, we do the 30 deep breaths. So close your eyes and try to clear your mind. Be conscious of your breath and try to fully connect with it. Inhale deeply through the nose or mouth and exhale unforced through the mouth. So let's do maybe 3 of them, really just not fast, just strong, long ones, just to get you calmed down a bit. So we breathe in and out. And in. And out. And in. And out. It always feels so good. Now we will start to repeat this 30 times in short, powerful bursts. So as I said, you might feel lightheadedness and tingling sensation in your fingers and feet. These side effects are completely harmless, but if you feel unwell, stop. Okay, so if you're ready, we start. So we start with the inhale. Out. First cycle done. We go over to the second cycle now. Breathe in. This concludes the second session of the breathing cycle. Just enjoy the bliss a little bit. Just enjoy the way you feel right now for the next minute or two. Notice your shoulders that they creeped up again. Just pull them down. Put your hand on your stomach. And just notice the way you breathe. But don't control it, just let it happen. Feel the sensations in your body. Are your hands tingling? Your feet? Your legs? How is your throat? Feel a bit anxious? What about your mind? What were you thinking? What are you thinking? Do you feel calmer? With the next exhale, we will open our eyes and slowly start to wiggle our hands and feet again, move around with our heads, and just become more present again where we are. Voila! Welcome back. How was that, guys? Oh, if I can share my experience first. It's always easier to go first and then you don't feel so intimidated to share yours. My legs were actually tingling and I did felt a little bit lightheaded at the second sequence at the end. When I was holding the breath in before I put it out to empty my lungs and all the air. So in that moment, I felt a tiny bit like, oh, okay. But the moment, oh, see, when you yawn, your brain is seeking more and more oxygen, they say, which is insane. I think this was great. I feel great and I feel much more relaxed, to be honest with you. I feel a bit more grounded. So what about you? Does anyone wants to share? What are you feeling? just unmute yourself, put your camera on and talk. If you want.
It was intense. I felt like I was running, but I wasn't really running.
So why intense? Tell us a bit about the sensations in your body.
I think I'm not just not used to breathing so heavily and so often and so intensely. So I think it was at the beginning of the second round. I was like, oh, I think if I continue going this way, I might have done like a 400-meter sprint at full speed. It's like, okay, I have to calm down. But at the end of it, like right now, I feel really relaxed and I feel like I can breathe a bit easier. I have asthma, so I have a lot of difficulty breathing and I have to yawn a lot, not because I'm sleepy, because I'm trying to get more oxygen, as you said. But right now, I feel it's so easy to breathe. That's all I can say.
Wow, that is a beautiful testimony. Yeah, it's true. And I have asthma too. So I agree with you. The leg feels more liberated, doesn't it? The chest feels more liberated, doesn't it? Very, very nice. Anyone else? Simone. Simone, do you want to unmute and share?
Yes. So first, I just read what I wrote. First, I felt really stressed. I had a feeling that I couldn't breathe. And then I had exactly the same feeling like Rudy. And I was a bit shocked about it because usually I'm used to do this kind of exercises because I play an instrument and I regularly pay attention about breathing. So it was, and afterwards I felt quite well. So.
Wow, that's nice. I love it. That is really, really good. Yeah, as well, also with the instruments, it's just to kind of get into the flow again of just recognizing your breathing. And this is a really good exercise as well. If you know that you have something really stressful coming up, that is a really good exercise, I think, to just calm you down before you need to go where you need to go. Because yes, it stresses you at first because your body is not in use of it, as you said, Simone and Rudy. But it's really at the end, you know, you kind of like, you force your body to just relax, even though it seems so easy, as they say, it's kind of very strong on your body. So, yeah, well done. Anyone else wants to share? Andrew, Paulina, Maria, Jessica?
I didn't feel so stressed when I was doing it, but I could definitely feel the intensity of the breathing, especially towards the end. I could feel the tingling in my fingers and a little bit lightheaded. But afterwards, it was just a really relaxing kind of sensation just came over me.
Very nice. A little bit like goosebumps, isn't it? Kind of like
yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice. It's exactly what we want from it. And don't forget, you know, the Wim Hof, he does this. He says he recommends 3 to 4 cycles. So as we all knew, I recommend, as I did, 2. And then, you know, that's good for 1 day. Then maybe another day you do 3, or you do a few days, you do 2, and then you do 3. You augment it, I think. I think that is, you can get in use of it better, I think. But of course, if you want to go straight to 3 and 4, as he recommends, you do that. Anyone else wants to share? Paulina, Maria, Jessica? You don't know.
I can tell not very much because I got interrupted by my cat who's jumping on my chest. I don't know why. It's yeah, and then I lost the concentration.
Well, that happens as well, you know. That happens, you know, with children and pets and everything. But yeah, I hope you can maybe do it later when you are a bit in your own space. You can try it again. But yeah, oh, and don't forget. Oh, there she is. Oh, it's a big one, huh? That is a big cat. Yeah, she needed some attention, huh? So yes, don't forget, this is week 6 and we will go over to week 7 now. in a minute, where we have another guided meditation, and it's a really nice one actually. So there you can then share if you want what you have experienced there. I have another thing here, which, oh no, okay, I already did that. Okay, perfect. So more research and relevancy you find then on wimhofmethod.com, as I mentioned. Healthline.com are the sources I used, and I have also used what was it called, healing/feeling.com. I have recommended Braintap, and I have recommended Fratello as a music app. So all of these things are definitely something to try out for week 6. So we have already, we're already at 1 hour, 20 minutes. So as part of this week, I think we will use 5 minutes of these before we make it 1.5 hours to also take a little break. So you can go and get some water maybe, because with the breathing exercise, don't forget, and meditation in general, you need to hydrate yourself, because it is a big effort. It's just a big effort that you're putting on yourself with the breathing. Rudy says she could sense the energy. Her dog started breathing heavily too. But that is true, the way we breathe, we affect people around. That's why as well, with the breathing, when you experience high intensity and anxiety, laying on your partner, if you have a partner, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or friend, just hugging people, or just giving a hug, or a pet, and just breathing with that person or that animal just really calms you down. So it makes totally sense that the dog gets the energy, what is happening there. And that's why as well, in your stomach, when you're pregnant, the baby gets this. That's why I think mindfulness and proper breathing when you're pregnant, and also instilling that as a practice to your children, like you have, Simone, and I do, and some of you, it's really important to bring that into your household and teach your children to do that from the very young age on, because it will help them so much in the future with coping with different situations, and also with their mental health and their body in general and their energy consumption. So this was week 6 on breathing, and I hope you enjoyed it. Is there any questions that you have for me for now, before we go into the break, stop this recording, and go into week 7, which is all about self-compassion? No? Okay, well, perfect then. I have done a great job. If there's no questions, as always, I'm always so humble. And I hope you like it. I would love to have also your feedback sometimes. Anytime. I have received emails as well. Toki has written me an email and just telling me about her experience so far. And it was really humbling. It was really beautiful, actually. So I'm glad. And some others of yours that join also online. I will not mention the names, but others have also written me and saying that it completely changed the way they look at their lives and the way they want to really spend their time and look after themselves. Simone was saying that she started looking into all kinds of courses now as a teacher on how to incorporate that more into class, which I think is really amazing. And Simone, if you need help with that, if you need help I come to the school and talk to your headmaster about this and the importance of it and how we could implement a little course on that in school, I happily do that. That is not a problem. I think it's great. And also Maria, I know you're a teacher too. So whatever you need, guys, you can always get in touch with me and we can create a movement of this, because I think it's very important and it will become more important as we go along in our lives, right? And now with the pandemic and everything, we have really seen the importance of mindfulness. Also check out Quantum University if you want. That's where I do my PhD in integrative medicine. I think they have really cool courses. They have also health coach courses, and they have just classes, and they actually do conferences and seminars as well, which I think is really useful and has helped me a lot to do. So there you go. That's it for me, for you, for week 6. There was no more questions. I will wait after the recording stopped as usual for the questions who will not be recorded. And I will see you here in, let's say, 10 minutes. So you have time to relax, take some water, do whatever, go and stretch outside, go on your window, just feel the bliss of the breathing exercise. And then we see each other here in 10 minutes again. It is the same Zoom link, so just join with the same Zoom link. If you have any problems, let me know. And then, yeah, see you in 10 minutes. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see.